Let's go over the daily language review for Wednesday. The first section says, is the underlined word a noun, a verb, or adjective? Let's look at number 1. Gerald shouted loudly to his older brother. The underlined word is Gerald. Well, Gerald's a person, and I remember that nouns are people, places, or things, so number 1 is a noun. Let's look at 2. Gerald shouted loudly to his older brother. The word underlined this time is shouted. Well, that word is telling us what Gerald is doing, and since that's showing action, it must be a verb. Let's look at section 2. Use the homophone pair in one sentence. Homophones are two words that sound the same, but they're spelled differently and have different meanings. And we are going to use them in one sentence. The two homophones we have are ate and ate. Ate, like the number, and ate, like you have eaten something. So let's think of a sentence where we could use ate and ate. How about yesterday I ate 8 apples. That's one sentence using ate and ate. Let's look at the last section. Correct these sentences. My dad got a new job and we got to move. Well, I don't see a capital letter at the beginning of that sentence, so that's one thing I have to do. The next mistake I see is we got to move. We can't say got, that's not correct grammar, but we could change that to have. Now, I don't see any punctuation at the end of this sentence, and it's not a question, and it's not saying something with a lot of feeling, so it must need a period. Now, there's one other thing that we need to change about this sentence. This is what we would call a compound sentence. It has two sentences joined together with this word and, which is a conjunction. It joins these two sentences. My dad got a new job is one complete sentence. If we covered up all the rest of this, we could let that stand alone. My dad got a new job, and that could be a complete sentence. The same thing with this part of the sentence. We have to move. If we didn't read any of this beginning part of the sentence and we just read we have to move, that's a complete sentence as well. So when we join two complete sentences with a conjunction, we have to put a comma and then the conjunction. So my dad got a new job, comma, and we have to move. So let's write that correctly. My dad got a new job, comma, and we have to move, period. Now let's look at the next sentence. Barry did good on his Spanish test last Tuesday. We need to make sure that we capitalize Barry. It's the first word in the sentence, and it's also a proper noun. It's the name of a person. Barry did good is actually not the correct word we need to put here. Good is an adjective used to describe a noun. But this word good is used to describe how he did. And we shouldn't use good there. We should be using well. Barry did well on his Spanish test last Tuesday. Now, Spanish is a proper noun, so we need to make sure that we capitalize Spanish. And Tuesday is also a proper noun, so we need to capitalize Tuesday. And we can't forget our punctuation. So let's write this sentence correctly. Barry did well on his Spanish test last Tuesday. Make sure I capitalize that and put a period.